Where does this end, Ginny?
Unfortunately, I don't see it ending anytime soon because, as you point out, when you have political leaders like Maxine Waters advocating for this, there are going to be repercussions. But unfortunately, the left as a whole has a responsibility because when everything that President Trump and his administration do, when everything they do, it's Armageddon, it's the end of the world, civil discourse isn't going to get any better because they have to keep raising the ante. They have to keep their supporters and their voters engaged to keep the emotional appeal there. And you mentioned all of these examples. There's a whole litany of examples that have happened. Congressman David Schweikert, I was reading the other day, said that in 2017, he had more death threats than all of the previous years he had been in office combined. They were even towards his young daughter. So this goes to show you it's been happening for a while, and unfortunately, it's getting worse.
It is. It is getting worse, and it's no wonder when we have people that are agitating the way that they're agitating. Liberals told us after Monday that Judge Brett Kavanaugh, if he's confirmed to the Supreme Court, that will be a threat to the lives of millions of Americans. That was Terry McAuliffe. He's a friend, a close personal friend of the Clintons. He's a former governor of Virginia. He's a very successful Democratic fundraiser here. He told us that Kavanaugh is a threat to people's lives and therefore we should be concerned about him. Well, what about the threat to people's lives at the hands of radical leftists? Why does the left never talk about that? Why do these people that claim they care about people, why do these leftists who claim they care about people's lives, why do they never say, stop with this rhetoric, stop a moment, step back, and if you have differences, argue in a civil manner or take it to the ballot box? Violence is not the answer.
Exactly. Well, because they think the only way to get their message across is to raise the rhetoric and have that emotional appeal. And you bring up Brett Kavanaugh, and one of my colleagues was down at the Supreme Court right after the announcement was made. She witnessed Shannon Bream from Fox News being harassed, being called a bimbo. I mean, this is Shannon Bream, a genuinely sweet, honest person who's also an expert in all things Supreme Court. And my colleague, who's a female who was out there, was also harassed just for smiling. The left isn't genuine about many of these topics, and that was clearly evident with Brett Kavanaugh. They had signs ready to go for fill in the blank, or they had signs pre-printed with all of the top contenders' names. So it goes to show you this is not genuine. The Women's March accidentally released a press release early. It had XX instead of Brett Kavanaugh's name because clearly they didn't know who it was going to be. But the bigger point about that is that they didn't care who it was going to be. As long as it was someone that President Trump put forward, they were going to oppose.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.